Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. And yeah, I don't look at them beforehand, so I have no idea what you sent. Let's check it out.
Oh, is that right? This is like a surprise.
Yeah. So it's a surprise, and then everybody sort of I have to describe them. And look, I mean, some people love this format, and it's part of the surprise. So in this case, it's not a photo. I'm looking at a logo, and it's super dramatic, beautifully done. Did you make this logo?
Does it say Northwest?
It says Northwest Jiu-Jitsu Academy.
Okay, there you go. No, that's not my logo at all. We've just partnered up with a team, and BUDO, which is my club, is now associated with Northwest Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
Just recently. So yeah, okay. That's news for me and the gym.
Okay, so the logo is okay. So basically, there's the background is a black circle. It says Northwest Jiu-Jitsu Academy, established 1999. So it's black, white, and red. It's very dramatic. The figure has a kind of a classic pose. What's the stance that you'd say that pose is?
I think it's interesting. The pose, that little cartoon is actually Brian Johnson. He's the leader of the team. Mm-hmm. That's his brand. Okay. So that's a cartoon of him. So that stance is like you're on the ground. Obviously, the guy's on the ground, and it looks like he's ready to just grab you and take over your life a little bit.
Okay, so let's dive into this, man. Okay, so sure. This is a new kind of association for the gym, or why is this significant?
Well, like I've always, for the longest time, never really directly associated to any teams. I've always just run the gym on my own. I had my instructor Don Whitefield and West Coast. I was, we're kind of loosely affiliated to West Coast, but I never felt part of a bigger team. And after meeting Brian and and Perry Bateson too, like these guys are good friends of mine, and Perry's always been his instructor is Brian. And I gave it some thought. I'm like, geez, what can I do better for the club and my students is expand the team a little bit and open it up. And I thought it'd be nice. I think the core values that we share are very similar. It's all about training together and enjoying each other's company. So right now, Brian has got, so we'd be the 8th club that he has associated under him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's based not too far. So this is what's different from like a big association. You could go, I could have gone with Gracie Baja or Alliance or Atos or Checkmat. There's so many big names out there, and headquarters is always like in Los Angeles or New York or Brazil. But, Brian is just like in Seattle. He's so close. So, being able to contribute and collaborate with, it's just an opportunity. It's like not a huge team. It's kind of like a medium-sized team, and everyone's very close. I just think it's kind of cool. It's unique.
Okay, so we met through BUDO. So why don't you promote the gym for a second? So what is BUDO for the listener?
Okay, our gym it's a facility where we teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the art itself, and it's an open door. We are, we're not a formal martial art gym. It's very like, hey, come as you are. There's no gi policy and all that kind of stuff. It's purely about learning the art of jiu-jitsu, the techniques, and it's about the atmosphere as well, the friendship and just a good vibe, which is not enforced on people. It's just created by the students themselves. So that's basically the easiest way to explain the gym. And
sure.
How, it's just mats and people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you, okay. So like how we intersected. Okay. So I come to Canada. trained a little bit in Hong Kong. I come to Canada, I land in Toronto. I go to this massive facility in Toronto. I don't remember the name of the place, but it's absolutely huge. I mean, they had something like 100 black belts at that gym. It's just huge.
100 black belts.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I mean, they had 3 floors, a massive, massive facility, and there's the vibe, okay, which is great. And then I come to Vancouver, and I trained at one place, and I trained with Hemant at his place. Out in well, it's not his, but like out in New Westminster. And then I think I tried one other place, and then he because Hemant said, "Oh, go try the gym with Scott," and I was like, "Okay." And I came over, and sure enough, so why don't you talk about, like, for somebody who's never tried jujitsu, what is it about practice and everything that appealed to you way back when, so much that you went all in, and now,
Okay, yeah. The reason why I started jujitsu, well, for me, the interest of jujitsu started when I was watching the very first UFCs.
hmm
I remember at that time I must have been like 20 or 21. The very first UFC, I think I must have watched UFC 2 live,
oh
and
wow,
I was blown away. I was a karate black belt
okay,
and doing Kyokushin karate. So I was deep into martial arts and loved it. I've been doing that kind of stuff since 9 years old.
hmm
So just watching this, because I knew there was Kyokushin karate fighters in the UFC fighting, and just watching Hoist Gracie do his thing with the gi on, and it just completely controlling people fascinated me.
hmm
So from I was fascinated with jiu-jitsu from that point. There was no gym in Vancouver to learn jiu-jitsu at that time. So there's a few times I would just roll with friends in the living room, just
hmm
like pretend we're always Gracie or whatever.
yeah,
we
yeah,
just
yeah,
we don't know what the hell we're doing at all. Just
hmm
getting like a rug burn. But years passed, and finally, well, Mike Hansen, my old business partner, introduced me to Don Whitefield. He was a brown belt at the time and teaching jiu-jitsu class in Burnaby. And I tried it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I've always been intrigued. Let's go to an actual jiu-jitsu gym and let's try this for real.
hmm
And I got my ass kicked so bad. Uh, I
yep,
remember tapping. I was tapping from exhaustion when someone mounted me.
hmm
Just like I was like, what the hell?
yeah,
So immediately, right after that class, I told myself that I gotta learn this. I'm totally gonna put all as much time as possible into jujitsu and learn it. I immediately got hooked, like
wow,
right away. Yeah, and I started training like at least 3 times a week, and pretty quick.
hmm
I was doing it 5, 6 times a week.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely a humbling. Like, it's really fun because I think most people who come to BJJ kind of immediately figure out, oh, okay, this is something that you're going to suck at in a big, like, you're going to so suck for a long time, and it's such a,
Yeah.
a humbling experience. Like, it's just it's learning a new language that's so unique. So how does that connect to your partnership with Northwest Jiu Jitsu, right? Because I'm looking at the logo right
Oh,
now, and
yeah.
so yeah, why don't you talk about?
Sure. We're on the topic of Northwest.
Yeah,
Well, you see, like I've always, my background is a very formal martial art, Kyokushin karate.
yep,
You stand in line. Uh, you don't talk to the black belts. That kind of stuff. Like in the military, and that's all I knew.
hmm
But as I started to learn jujitsu, at first it was very confusing. I'm like, why isn't there a real curriculum? There was, some gyms taught different curriculums from the others, and it was very confusing. And I was like, what is this?
hmm
And eventually, as I competed, and I was very serious at becoming better, I learned that jiu-jitsu is way, way deeper than that. It's a personal, it's very personal. It's something that you develop for yourself. And so what I'm trying to get at is there's just so many different types of jiu-jitsu gyms,
hmm
and to have found a team that has a similar mindset that just happened now. I'm like a second degree black belt, and I finally found a team where I think, okay, I think we were thinking the same. You know, jiu-jitsu is very, very wide. It's
Mm-hmm.
grand.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about sharing knowledge, and and just enjoying yourself, and being humble at all belt levels. You know,
Sure.
yeah. For me, like I train with I'll train with my white belts, blue belts, like everybody. I want to know where they're at. You know, I'll let them attack me. There's just no ego there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a big reason why I decided to join the
Mm-hmm.
Northwest team. I think it's just not about making money. It's strictly about just getting better at jiu-jitsu and growing a team and a family.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to interrupt for a second because one of the
Of
things, okay,
course.
coming from Muay Thai, where it's quite informal, and it's all about the energy and the spirit of connection and all this stuff, and then going to different gyms and having trained in many places around the world. One of the things that really surprised me about training in Vancouver, and I don't know what it is, and this is going to be something that's going to make you smile or laugh or whatever, but I can't get over how much ego happens in Vancouver. And the reason
Yeah.
why I liked your gym was because it didn't have that,
Oh
you
man,
know?
thanks so much for that. That means a lot. You know, I don't get the chance to visit all the other gyms in the area. You know, I
Hmm.
just kind of know what I'm doing, and I just hear what from other
Yeah, I don't
people like
know. I
yourself.
don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Vancouver, what it is about the mentality that it's not very humble, and it's a lot of ego, and I don't and it's not it's something that spills over from the community, from the broader community. It's not jujitsu. It's
Interesting.
I can't put my finger on why that is. Is it because of the
Yeah.
movies industry that makes people really like a certain slice of people really kind of, I don't know, man. Like it really blew me away.
Yeah, maybe in Vancouver people are easily influenced, and they just want to be like whatever that they really like outside there. You know, they see
Maybe.
something they really like and they try to just copy it, and they're very stubborn about it. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like BUDO, like this is a big ad for sure for your gym. I really
Ah,
enjoyed.
thanks, man.
Yeah, it's great, really great.
I'm always very happy to go to the gym and train and
Mm-hmm.
be around the people. Like it's just like a good feeling. I never feel like I'm an authority. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I'm going there to teach, but I do something before my classes. I ask questions.
Yep.
I do a Q&A, and I don't
Yeah.
care if I don't know the answer. You know, other people in class can share, and we just figure it out for people, right?
Yeah. No, it's cool. That's a really interesting feature of your classes of just starting with a Q&A.
Yeah, start with a Q&A and just like whatever, let's go. Let's figure out these problems everybody's having with their jiu-jitsu and try to solve it, and just makes it easier, less stressful for me anyways. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, do you want to move on to the next photo?
Let's do it.
So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting